Hello friends, and not yet friends. Today we're making a deliciously fluffy high-protein bread loaf for all your keto-friendly sandwich needs, thanks to your lovely requests. I'll get in-depth on each ingredient, the macros, and more, but first, let's get this bread dough made, risen, and in the oven because not everyone wants to get into the weeds with me. Into my pre-warmed stand mixer bowl, I'll combine warm water at 110 degrees Fahrenheit with the enemy. I mean, in this case, actually maple syrup. The trick is, you're not really gonna eat the sugar. The yeast is gonna get to it first. Let that yeast bloom for about 5 minutes. These bubbles let you know it's passed the gas test. Then in go freshly ground golden flax seeds, ground up oat fiber, vital wheat gluten, which is the isolated protein part of wheat, and salt. Stir slowly at first until the dough is formed. Then ramp up the speed to 3 and let the machine do the work for 8 minutes. While technically possible, don't do this manually if you want to hang on to your sanity, but then again, there are no rules. Except afterwards, don't let this proof like you would a regular batch of bread dough. Get it out right away and let it rest a few minutes while you prepare your loaf pan. Those few minutes should let this dough relax a bit so you can go ahead and roll it up tightly. Then place it in the pan to triple in size. Takes about 90 minutes. You could cover with a damp lint-free kitchen towel, but these days I have to use plastic because of these guys. No textile in my home can be trusted to be completely lint-free now. After only 15 minutes, here's the progress. Looks like we might not need the full 90 minutes, but we still have plenty of time to thank today's sponsor, AG1. While our bread will provide plenty of protein and fiber, getting enough of everything else can be a challenge on any modern diet, let alone low-carb diets. So AG1 makes it easy. 1 vegan-friendly, keto-friendly scoop into water and you have this refreshingly tasty drink to get the vitamins and minerals crucial for a well-functioning nervous system and to support a strong immune system. It has the B12 we all need, along with other B vitamins, antioxidants to help with recovery and healthy aging, adaptogens which help with stress, dairy-free probiotics, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes to support your gut health and promote nutrient absorption. It actually all works together, and from personal experience, it really makes a difference I could feel. That and the fact that it's easy and tastes good makes this a healthy habit I've easily kept up with for over a year. It's like tropical pineapple, but with a hint of vanilla and not too sweet, just lightly, so it's not kicking off any sweet cravings. In fact, it's sugar-free. Doing this one healthy thing first thing in the morning helps me make good decisions throughout the day. AG1 has been a key nutritional part of my journey recovering from chronic pain for the past year, after over 7 years of a lot of pain and hopelessness, to be honest. You might not be in such dire straits as I was, but I still recommend trying AG1 for the nutritional coverage and all the other benefits that a lot of us just aren't getting with our modern lifestyles and food. I've noticed my energy levels are better, I have more motivation to be active, and more focus when it's time to get to work. You can try it just one time, or like me, get refill pouches monthly that go in this tin in my fridge. But if you're more on the go, you might prefer the travel pouches that are specially made so you don't have to keep them refrigerated. They gave me a special link to share in the description, and if you use it for your first purchase, you can get this bottle of vitamin D3 and K2 for free. It's a year's supply. The D3 is of course super important for the immune system, and this particular kind is made from lichen, a vegan-friendly source. And they're not done with the free gifts. You'll also get 5 free travel packs so you can take them along with you. My friends, click that link and check it out if you haven't already. Thanks again to AG1 for sponsoring the video today. It's only been 45 minutes and this dough has already tripled in size, so I'll need to preheat my oven right away. I guess the studio was a bit warmer than usual. Before you turn that oven on though, make sure you take out anything that shouldn't be in there, and adjust the racks if you need to. It takes my oven 15 minutes to come to temperature, and now my keto loaf is looking way bigger than it needs to be. I was aiming for something bigger than normal to impress you guys, but now, I have regrets. You can see it's a little uneven, and I debated slashing it to compensate, but I made an executive decision. This loaf goes in a 400-degree oven for 40 minutes. Afterwards, it's a monster. This is actually a brand new bread pan that I bought after my old ones rusted out. It's a little bigger than they were, so I multiplied my original recipe by 1.5. Looks like we didn't need the 0.5. It's still soft and springy, and it looks pretty nice until you turn it around and see how it's busted up in here. Don't worry, the final printable recipe that I will have linked in the descriptions will have normal-sized measurements, not this monstrosity. But otherwise, it smells heavenly thanks to the toasty aroma of oat fiber, which is not to be confused with oatmeal, whole oats, or oat bran. Oat fiber is made from the outside husk of oats, which are completely indigestible, so it doesn't add net carbs. Or it shouldn't anyways. I only buy the Anthony's brand because it's 0 net carb and the quality has been good and consistent for me. What it does is add bulk to our dough. Too much, however, would make this too dense, and that's where the flaxseed comes in. It adds bulk without getting too dense, and that's partly due to its moisture-attracting quality. It's going to help keep the bread moist and fresh-tasting for longer than regular bread. I always use golden flax rather than brown because it looks nicer in the final product, and I grind fresh from whole seeds to avoid rancidity. The fact that it's so springy and acts like wheat bread is because of the vital wheat gluten. It lets bread rise and not fall. The dough is strong and flexible enough to trap the gas that the yeast made when the fungi ate all the sugar and generated carbon dioxide and ethanol. The ethanol evaporates during baking, leaving us with a very, very low-carb bread. How many net carbs per slice will depend on how we slice it. And we can't do that until this cools down completely. Now completely cooled and ready to slice. How's that? It looks just like normal bread. Normal monster-sized bread with an oversized mushroom top, but I digress. The texture is squishy but springy. It smells like regular brown bread too. The pull apart, oh, look at that, how beautiful. And the taste is like hearty brown bread. Because of the flax and the oat aroma, it does have that healthy-ish kind of taste, if you know what I mean. However, fairly plain, because compared to breads that have a longer fermentation time, it doesn't have that fermented tang. But this is for sandwiches. The filling is where a lot of the flavor is going to come for you. You can make the slices as thin or thick as you like. I'm actually impressed by how thin I can slice them, and it holds together nicely. Finally, sandwich time. These slices are actually a ridiculous size, so I'm cutting off the bottoms for another mini sandwich later. I mean, just look at this. My hand for scale. And FYI, I actually have huge hands for a woman. You usually can't tell unless I see you in person and we compare hands side by side, but trust me on this. Huge hands, huge bread slices. Today, we get to enjoy half an avocado with fresh homegrown sprouts, ground red chilies, cherry tomatoes, which are the only tomatoes to bother with at this time of year, and a sprinkle of salt, red onion, and then fragrant pecans. Finish with mustard. And that looks like a regular sandwich, right? A regular sandwich with a lot less carbs. This way, I can have a normal looking and tasting sandwich without causing my chronic tendonitis to flare up. Right now, with the nutritional support of AG1 and the anti-inflammatory effect of my plant-based keto diet, I have gone from constant low-grade pain, limited working hours, and frequent debilitating flare-ups, which feel like I have glass in my hands and arms, to now, absolutely no symptoms whatsoever. I feel like a normal person again, and that's why I keep it keto. I know a lot of you who eat keto are doing it for other reasons, maybe to manage weight or manage appetite, other health conditions, so you do want this specific nutrition information. That is coming up right now. So if you're one of my friends who doesn't want to know that, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out AG1 and your 2 free gifts, and I'll see you next time. For the rest of us, it's time for the nitty-gritty. I'm going to base this on 1 loaf according to the final recipe, which is smaller than this monster because I don't expect you to make this monstrosity at home. 1 regular size loaf makes 16 decently large slices, and I'll say 2 slices make a serving. According to Chronometer, 2 slices has 163 calories, 7.4 grams of fat, 17.7 grams of total carbs, but only 3.7 are digestible, aka your net carbs. The rest is fiber. This number is actually inflated, however, because the sugar in this recipe should have been digested by the yeast and turned into ethanol and carbon dioxide. The ethanol, of course, is evaporated by the baking process, and the carbon dioxide is what makes the bread puff up. But I always just leave the sugar in the calculation because, in my opinion, it's better to overestimate the carbs than underestimate. There is a whopping 20 grams of protein, and there's a nice bit of iron too. Personally, I do view this as a processed food, however, so I don't like to have it all the time, just when the sandwich craving hits. Remember to drink plenty of water with all this fiber to keep things running along smoothly. Speaking of running along smoothly, don't forget to check out AG1 by Athletic Greens. It's seriously so helpful for that purpose, but also to get a ton of nutrition with only 4 net carbs. And the bonus free gifts are nice to have too. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a recipe request with the hashtag recipe request if you're so inclined, and bye for now.